What's going on, guys? It's Home Loan Drew, and today we're going to talk about a very popular topic that people come up with after they buy their home, and that's homestead exemptions. Okay, what is a homestead exemption and why should you care about it and take advantage of it if it's available to you? So first thing is, what is a homestead exemption? Well, your county is the one that collects your taxes, your property taxes for your home, correct? And so if that is the case, then what happens is there are different discounts, if you would, that are available to the homeowners, okay? Homestead exemption is a standard exemption or discount that's available to homeowners when they occupy a home as their primary residence, okay? You can only file one homestead exemption. So if you own several properties, your homestead exemption is going to be applied to only one of those properties, and it has to be the one that you claim to be your primary residence. All right, so in Florida, here in Florida, the homestead exemption standard for everybody across the board is $50,000. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically the county comes up with your tax bill based on the assessed value, the county assessed value of your home. All right, so if the county says that your home is worth $400,000, they're going to tax you at whatever the rate is for your area on that $400,000 county assessed value. Now, the homestead exemption in Florida, for example, is $50,000. So if you file for a homestead exemption on that home, that $400,000 assessed value home, now the county is only going to look at the $350,000 value, and they're going to tax you based on that. All right. There are additional exemptions available when you qualify. So, for example, senior citizens, veterans, all of those different exemptions can reduce that taxable value. All right. Now, it's important to remember that county assessed value is not the same as your actual market value. It's always going to be a little bit lower than what you see. A safe, or what you see on the market. A safe calculation is about 0.85%, all right, of what market value is. Okay. So if a home is worth $1 million in the market, then it's probably assessed by the county at around $850,000. That's a very rough general idea, but it gives you a way to do the calculation very easily and quickly. All right, so why do you want to take advantage of a homestead exemption? Well, it's a discount, right, on your taxes. It basically lowers your taxable value, which means you have a lower tax bill. I can't tell you how many times I've seen folks that bought homes years ago and never filed for a homestead exemption, and they've been paying more than they could have for many, many years. And in some cases, that's hundreds or thousands of dollars. So you want to make sure that you apply for a homestead exemption if you are eligible and when you are eligible. All right. Now, every county has a certain time frame that they'll allow you to apply. You don't want to miss the deadline. Okay. Here in the county that I'm in, basically you've got between January 1st and March 1st of every year to make that application. Now, they usually won't review those applications until that time frame, but some counties will allow you to apply anytime through the year, but again, they won't actually apply the homestead exemption until that window of time, okay, the application window. You definitely want to make sure that you do this the year that you buy your home or during that window right after you buy your home, because that following year after you buy your home, the county is going to assess or reassess your property value because your purchase has now triggered a new assessment. All right, here's the big benefit of doing the homestead exemption. Why do you need it? Well, again, it lowers the taxable value on your home, but more importantly to me, it also protects you year after year. You only have to file for homestead exemption one time. However, moving forward, it also caps how high or how much of an increase the county can assess your value every year. All right. So say someone buys a home and the county, we'll use the same example, the county assesses it at about $400,000. Now, 10 years later, where that same home in that neighborhood sells for, say, $800,000, all right, or whatever the value is, that person, basically their assessed value only increased to a maximum of, say, 3% per year. So they're getting taxed not at $800,000 value, but at, I don't know, whatever the math works out to be. Say it's about $650,000. Okay, so it's a huge benefit because over time your tax bill will remain relatively low compared to the increasing county values and tax bills in the homes or for the homes around you. All right. So important to remember that it protects you when it comes to how much the county can increase your assessed value every year, and that equates to how much they can increase your taxes every year. All right. Now, here's what you also have to think about too. All right. If you leave that property and move into another property, you can transfer that homestead exemption and some of that assessed value discount to your new home. All right, so that further decreases the county assessed value and taxable value for your new purchase. All right, but remember, if you keep that old property and say rent it out, that old property is no longer benefiting from that tax exemption, and so that tax value is going to increase and your tax bill is going to increase. So remember that as you leave one property and go to another, if you're holding on to that old property and you're transferring that homestead exemption to your new property, you're going to get that homestead exemption on your new property, but that previous property that you're holding on to now and renting out, make sure your rent lease payment that you're collecting from your tenants is appropriate to what the tax bill is going to be when the county reassesses your tax bill after that homestead exemption is no longer there. Okay, so there's some helpful information about homestead exemptions. If you have any questions about your situation or anything related to home ownership, please feel free to reach out to me. You got my direct calendar in the description below where you can set a one-on-one consultation with me. Otherwise, guys, thanks again for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel where we drop content like this each and every week to help you guys out. Take care.